Welcome back to the CanAm Garage, guys. This is going to be a follow up to the Lucas C video interview of me, and as you heard him mention, he was talking about taking pictures of models in a realistic setting, or somewhat realistic setting, should definitely be making a comeback. And this, I haven't had the CanAm Garage up since I was working as a display since before I moved from Quebec to Nova Scotia, and Luca inspired me. The CanAm Garage is back. I'm sure Luca would point it out. Where's Jackson? Because Jackson's well known for the CanAm Garage. He's just a little plastic figure, but he does give scale to things. I mean, if you're looking at what's here, forgetting about what's down here, you're down, looking over there, looking at the MX-5. Just how big of a car is the MX-5? A little bitty thing, honestly. Especially in comparison to Jackson. You can find out more about the CanAm Garage in Jackson by listening to the interview, and I hope you've listened to it by now. Way in the background, because we're sort of basically at the limits of what I can do with my camera arm at this point. I don't think I can get much higher, and it's definitely spoiling the screen at this point. Way in the background, all that whiteness is the Italeri Max Superliner with the towing gear from the Revell Kenworth W900 tow truck. Next over is my scratch-built brass chassis rotisserie, but in reality for the CanAm Garage, it's only ever displayed bodies on it, showing off paint jobs, and I can see that's not the ideal place for it at this point, but that's cool. The funny-looking thing off to the right of it is a scratch-built, again, brass, scratch-built from brass. It's meant to display a hood at not vertical, but at maybe a 45 degree angle. On it, as you can see, is the NSX. In front of that, on the 3D printed resin body cart, which came from Spot Model. Don't know if they still have it, but there it is. The chassis, of all the mechanicals is sitting on top of that. Then you have which is of course Tamiya kit, the Tamiya MX-5 that I recently completed for the Summer of the Rising Sun. Behind that is the scratch-built workbench. There's even a spot for a vise on it. Never got around to installing it, but I do have it, and if I can find those tools, definitely going to put that on. Way in the background, there's a red, pardon me, can't do it on the stand, so we'll take it off. Pardon. Way in the background, against the long wall, is a red workbench, and that's courtesy from one of the AMT car transport trailers. Behind that, on the long short wall over there, is a blue one that I bought at NL East a few years ago. Didn't scratch build it. Could easily. I look at that, I think, why did I spend money on that when I could have done that? Regardless, one of these things. What's the garage made out of? I'm sure somebody's going to ask. Well, as you can see here, it's foam core board. Really simple, real easy. The red and blue stripes are electrical tape. The CanAm Garage logos were printed when I had a color printer, and I could size the images to what I wanted. Did it, bang, there's a slightly newer and bigger logo over the stripes, if you get what I mean. Stripe on the wall. Two desk lamps here that will provide plenty of light should I ever decide to do indoor nighttime photography. What you're seeing out there, of course, is you're looking east, northeast. Yeah, and there's what is that, a tractor or something out there? Or is that a reflection in the background? That's a reflection in the background, or is it? No, that's the neighbor. And they use big tractors out here. That's a clays, however you want to pronounce it. Yeah. You didn't do much with that field this year. Regardless, you're not here to look at that. Here, sitting on the absolute corner, is a pile of scribed and snapped parts that have been, most part, dressed, and they're ready to go, but the instructions for the Crown Fire Coach say to keep doing this, at least to this point, so we'll get to that. Yeah, and the lines here on the floor, designating 3 different work bays, is, again, the electrical tape. Came from the dollar store. It's all done to the same sizing. The gray foam core board I had got at an office supply store in my hometown in Quebec. Never seen another piece of it with gray. It's been used, it's been abused. If this is a concrete floor, pardon me while I just grab a piece of plastic, piece of styrene, there's a dent. How do you dent a concrete floor? Anyway, we're not going to worry about that. But the CanAm garage is back. When I can access the box that Jackson is in my CCan, I will definitely get him out here, and we'll add a few more of the smaller accessories, tools, and etc. to make it more, well, lived in, worked in, whatever. Not that Jackson never does any work, but it is what it is. Alrighty, that's it. Thanks for watching this time, guys. Keep building, and we'll see you next time.